Do you want to make a strong start in Palworld? Crush the first major boss? Create a sustainable and efficient base in the early game? Of course you do. To achieve this, you need to make sure that you focus on securing the right pals for the right jobs. Here are a selection of pals that are located close to the starting area that will make your time getting to grips with the game much easier. Two of the strongest opening choices are Tanzee and Lifmunk. Both offer superb damage output through their special F abilities, more on that later, whilst also offering exceptional utility within your base in the early game. Lifmunks are located in the Rain Syndicate Tower location and can be a little bit slippery to catch. At level 11, they will give you a submachine gun upgrade which absolutely plows through enemies. It offers superb range and also allows you to use your own weaponry in tandem with this attack. This makes your damage output ridiculous. If that wasn't enough, they also offer incredibly valuable work suitability. This includes planting, handiwork, lumbering, medicine production, and gathering. This makes them such a versatile base pal in the early game, and I can't stress how effective having 2 or 3 of these in your base early game is. Tanzee is similar to Lifmunk. It's located in the same area location and is a little easier to catch. At level 12, they will give you an assault rifle upgrade, which again offers us excellent damage output and the luxury of keeping at range. It also offers again top tier work suitability, including planting, handiwork, lumbering, transporting, and gathering. Again, having 2 or 3 of these in your base makes the opening game so much easier. I would even go as far to say that if I was to start a new playthrough, I'd be incredibly tempted to make Lifmunk and Tanzee the first pals that I focused on capturing a handful of, just to make things run smoother. Another pal which will make your opening hours in Palworld a much smoother experience is Foxparks. Foxparks is the earliest DPS spike you can grab in the early game. At level 6, you can take the Foxparks harness and use this pal as your very own personal flamethrower. Just like the 2 previously mentioned pals, this gives us absolutely insane damage output. By the time you reach level 12, you'll have the ability to switch between these 3 pals and rain absolute hell on any creature that stands in your way. Using these 3 in your setup also makes the first boss an absolute breeze to kill, especially when we combine it with other pals coming up in this guide. Foxparks' work suitability includes kindling, which is essential for turning ore into ingots, so having one of these in your base is also a highly recommended choice. Ichthyodeer is an absolute beast of an early pal and is a tank of sorts. They can take a good bit of damage and have excellent range on their attacks. Palworld is all about traversal, and this is an essential selling point for this pal. At level 12, Ichthyodeer saddles become available, and this offers us the ability to use them as a mount. When used as a mount, we gain the ability to use their charge skill. This doubles up as a strong damage skill and also makes traversing around the land much faster. You can gain the option to mount much sooner if you grab a rush ore from the Desolate Church. You can acquire the saddles for these at level 6. By the time I realised this, I'd already grabbed an Ichthyodeer saddle, but if you're wanting to do this sooner, this will be a viable option. Nightwings are the first flying pal that you'll come across and offer excellent damage output as a party member. I've been using one as a mainstay in my lineup since I caught one very early, quite luckily. You will find these in grassy Behemoth Hills, very close to the starting base. Most importantly, when you reach level 15, you can buy a saddle for them in the technology tree, which rewards us with the ability to fly. This completely changes the scope of the game, and Palworld really comes into its own. It makes hunting specific pals much easier, and you can use your time much more efficiently. I would advise getting this as soon as possible. One of the first bosses you can kill is a dragon type pal called Chillit. This is an incredibly strong pal to have in your party, and another mainstay that I got as early as I could. Whilst it looks daunting, if you take a Foxparks flamethrower, it absolutely disintegrates it because it's weak to this damage type. Make sure you keep your eye on its health and capture it accordingly. This respawns every day, and you can capture it multiple times. I currently have 2, and this makes an excellent backbone for any party composition in the early game. It has a dragon attack and an ice one called Ice Missiles, and this has a very high chance of freezing enemies, including the first boss, which is a huge help. With a party composition of Lifmunk, Foxparks, Nightwing, Ichthyodeer, and Chillit, you should be able to kill the first boss in the Rain Tower Syndicate region fairly easily if you use the pillars to your advantage and keep on moving. Just use the assault rifle, flamethrower, and SMG abilities like a damage cooldown in an MMO, rotate through them, and once they're spent, use the other 3 pals to chip and CC the boss down until the 3 skills are off cooldown. Rinse and repeat to bring a swift end to this first major hurdle. Daydream is a dark element pal that is incredibly OP. It should be noted that this can be located during nighttime and can also be found in caves. I first secured mine in the Hillside Cavern dungeon near the starting area. Once you unlock its collar in the tech tree, it becomes an absolute powerhouse. Once acquired, if you have Daydream active in your party, it will remain active and roam around like your own personal dark magic firing turret. Pretty cool. This is incredibly effective, but just make sure you use the commands to make sure it's passive, or it may end up killing some of your captures. This is particularly useful as you leave the early game and start running into neutral type creatures. These are weak to dark. Understanding the elemental weaknesses of different pals can have a huge impact impact on whether you win, lose, or capture a pal. Check out this swift video breakdown of this topic, which will take your gameplay to the next level. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.